It's time for Football Friday, sponsored by Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota, South Dakota State University, South Dakota Department of Health, and Dakota Bank.
You're watching Football Friday on Dakota News Now. Go Pirates!
Those Avon Pirate cheerleaders have had a lot to cheer about. They have scored a ton of points this year. It is Friday again. That means a big night of high school football. I'm Mark Ovenden.
And I'm Zach Borg. Believe it or not, we're already halfway through the regular season. We've got highlights from 14 games in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa.
And we start our coverage at one of my favorite spots, Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton, where the Bucks, ranked number 4 in 11 AA, hosting the number 1 team in 11 AAA, the Harrisburg Tigers. Ooh. And watch Sam Canute sling it to Braden Fieldy over the top at 7-0 in favor of the Tigers. Yankton recovers a fumble on a punt return, gets the ball back, drives down to the red zone, and Easton Nelson rushes in, and the game is all tied up at 7-7. Look at that atmosphere. Like I said, that is just a great place to go to a football game. Harrisburg isn't going to fumble on this punt return, though. Fieldy is feeling it. He takes it, and he is gone for the touchdown. Harrisburg takes the lead 14-7, and then right before halftime, Josiah Hines extends the lead to 21-7 on the ground, and Harrisburg goes on to win 49-14. Now, Cooper Seymour was out at Howard Wood Field tonight for what really had the makings of a great 11 AAA football game and the second game of the night. Coop?
Yeah, Mark, Lincoln has picked up right where they left. The seniors had left off last year, and Jefferson has looked great in 3 wins as well. So it's a pair of unbeatens, and Vince Benedetto's team trying to hold down the Patriots' high-octane offense. You can try, but you're not going to do so well, especially with Joshua Myers in the first half. Watch his quick feet. Going to set up Lincoln here in the red zone, and Myers set up the pins. Well, you might as well let him knock him down. A nice short run into the end zone, and the Patriots lead 7-0. We're still in the first, and Myers' engine just won't stop. Gets the ball again, and he is running angry, breaking tackles. Look at him go here. Not going to be stopped all the way down to the 1-yard line, and he'd run it in for his second score. It's 14-0 Patriots. Jefferson comes back in the second, though. Davian Simonson here sneaks in, and he cuts that lead in half. It'd be 14-10 at halftime. We take your scoreboard now in the fourth quarter, and Lincoln is holding on. It's 28-16, our latest score there. Zach.
Thanks, Cooper. You can catch that on Outlaw TV or our Dakota News Now website, Metro TV Game of the Week. In the first game of the night at Howard Wood Field, Washington Warriors facing Rapid City Stevens. No one gets close to the scoring until the second quarter when Washington's Thomas Hoffman finds Jace Woods all alone. It's 7-0. Warriors get a short field, and, Mr. Hoffman will do a lot of running.
Wow.
Literally, I'm getting tired watching this, but this is what he does best.
Busy.
And he does that best, too. He can run all over the place and throw and find people in the end zone. It's Woods again to make it 14-0. Then in the second half, Hoffman looking deep this time, far less running, but the same result. Sam Ewing for the diving touchdown. Washington picks up their first win of the year, 35-7.
All right, the top 4 teams in 11 AAA were all 3-0 before tonight. 5th-ranked O'Gorman lost to 3 of them. They deserved a break in the game tonight. They were at Rapid City Central, although the Cowboys in their military uniforms with a big stop. However, that set up 4th and goal, and Talon Black hits Dawson Bauer, hangs on for the touchdown, and it's now 39-7 in the fourth quarter. Let's go to your scoreboard. 39-7 is your score. Updating 39-7. Harrisburg wins big. Lincoln 28-16. It's now 39-7. And Brandon Valley and Roosevelt play tomorrow. To Brookings we go, where the Bobcats off to their best start in years at 3-0, but they face a mad Pierre team that lost to Watertown last week. This was a defensive struggle, although a nice struggling run by Daggy Thomas. Caught that ball from Gavin Anderson. Took 4 governors to bring him down. But the Pierre defense stands tall. That's Coulter Babcock with the
Gaggle
stop.
of governors.
We are still tied, scoreless, until this. This is the tail end of a pick. Jay Harris for the touchdowns, a pick 6 for the Bobcats, and that was your winning score. Your final, 13-0. Brookings shuts out Pierre.
This is the last time the Cubs have lost 2 in a row to the Hub City, where the 3rd-ranked Spartans of Spearfish made the long trip to face the Golden Eagles of Aberdeen. Scoreless into the second quarter until Spearfish's Jack Quat lofts one up to Dylan Doran, who leaps and hauls in the 37-yard touchdown. Spartans go up 6-0. They had their PAT blocked. Anything you can do, I can do better. Braden
nice.
Bowman, deep ball to Colby Dolan over the shoulder, 72 yards. And the Golden Eagles do make their point after at 7-6. And their defense made sure that was enough. Spearfish going for it on a 4th down at midfield. It's Evan Sickmiller and Cordell Richlick bracketing the receiver, breaking it up. Aberdeen adds another score in the second half. They finish the upset win, 14-6. Let's take a look at some more scores in 11AA. Again, there's your Watertown scores. They go on the road and hammer Mitchell as the #1 ranked team. Brookings again defeating Pierre with the shutout. And then there's again your Aberdeen win over Spearfish.
Happy homecoming for the Arrows tonight. Up next, bragging rights in 11A. They were at stake. Cordell will have those highlights for us on homecoming for Sioux Falls Christian. We'll show you whether it was a happy one or not next.
You're watching Football Fridays, sponsored by Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota, South Dakota State University, South Dakota Department of Health, and Dakota Bank.
And welcome back to Football Friday, and we move to the rest of the 11-man ranks. Cordell Wright was at the Bob tonight for the biggest game of the night, and it was in Class 11A, and it was incredible. Take it away.
Thank you, Mark. And we're going to get right into the highlights. They were tied for the top spot last week, and Sioux Falls Christian became king of the hill after that big second-half win at Lennox. The crowd, as you can hear, they were amped up tonight. After a fumble and a quick score, Sioux Falls Christian had the ball again in the first, already up 7. Lincoln Prince out of the gun. He directs some traffic. Cole Schneider mosses his defender, goes up over the top. It's going to be 14-0 early in this one. They had things working in the air. Might as well get it going on the ground. Braden Whitty under center, keeps it himself up the middle, makes one defender miss, stretches at the goal line, 21-0. We're still in the first quarter here. There's a lot of highlights to pick from for Sioux Falls Christian. Let's show a defensive one. And that one is going to be picked off deep, wrong color jersey, and they are going to go ahead and roll in this one. If we can take a look at that scoreboard, 49-7.
And it was 42-0 at halftime.
Well, the Lennox Orioles, who we just mentioned, maintain their #3 rankings. They headed to Hartford to play the West Central Trojans. Always a tough place to win on the road, but they get off to a good start. Boston Katzer, their quarterback, thrown from the 30 to a wide-open Drake Mickelson for the first Oriole touchdown of the night. Trojans firing right back, though. Patrick Hammond pushing down the center for a touchdown for the home team. However, it would be West Central, and they would not be their night as these guys in white, they didn't get the play here. It was picked off on a nice tip drill by West Central, but Lennox would come back and get the victory in this one, 40-28, high-scoring game. Let's take a look at some more scores in Class 11A. There's your Sioux Falls Christian score, 1-2. Dakota Valley with a 7-point win over Tri-Valley. Dell Rapids all over Millbank, and again, that Lennox score by 12.
On to 11B, and talk about a tough place to win. It's Winter. Nobody's a winner at Winter aside from Winter.
And they've been playing great schedule this year, too.
Yeah, they've had a really tough schedule, and boy, they've come through it in flying colors. That's a touchdown by Gus Bartles. It's 8-0. Now, Holden Havlick goes to Colby Flowers, and this is a beautiful 47-yard touchdown. I wondered how that passing attack would do against Winter. That was 8-6 at that point, but it was all Winter after that. Eli Vober and the quarterback keep. He goes 5 yards, or he goes for 5 touchdowns, 22 yards out. It's 16-6. And then it's Zach Olson with a 5-yard touchdown run. 30-18 was your final score. Winner is a winner again. And they've been doing this without their best player. Isn't that incredible? Onto the scoreboard. Sioux Valley wins big, as does EPJ and MVP. Had a bye.
Up next, we'll take you to Canistota, where the Hawks host the Tigers in a big rivalry match.
And welcome back to Football Friday. And 9-man highlights. Zach was in Howard, or in Canistota. No, you were in Howard.
I went to both places.
Canistota. You were at the Howard Canistota game.
I went to both places, actually, to talk to both coaches. The Tigers have been rolling everyone in Class 9A so far. The Hawks of Canistota are back in the rankings. The 5th spot in 9B, playing much better in recent weeks. They ran into a buzzsaw tonight, though. Already 6-0 after 1 for the Tigers. First play of the second quarter, Weston Remmers around the left end. Good patience. The stiff arm, 20-yard touchdown, 13-0. New starting quarterback for the Hawks, former Lincoln Patriot, Blaze Showers. He got a rude welcome to 9-man, courtesy Tate Miller. Full extension for that interception on the next series. Returns it deep to Canistota territory. A few plays later, might as well finish what you started, kid. Miller, look at this run. He will get into the end zone by just refusing to go down, shedding 3 tacklers for the house call. 19-0 at half, 32-0. The final, Howard avenging that loss a year ago to the Hawks.
All right, 9A scores. Howard wins big, and we had a bunch of byes. Woolsey Wessington also won. I had the game of the night, as it turned out, in 9B.
Or 9AA
oh,
scores.
9AA scores.
Hamlin over
Yep.
Florence, Henry Big, Elton Lake Benton also over Great Plains Lutheran, Parkston, Vibert, Hurley, TDD, ACDC,
And we had a bunch
all
of
off.
byes. All right, so I had the game of the night at Dell Rapids Courier Stadium, where they're still playing all their games for Dell Rapids St. Mary. This kid was something. Alec Austin was slinging a huge first half. 2 touchdown passes to this guy, Miles Eide. It's 14-8. And Ross Flemmer says, come on, guys. We can do better than this. Watch this. This is his 3rd touchdown pass of the half to Corbin Topol. And watch the run. This is incredible. He cuts back and goes down the sideline, does kind of a stiff arm down near the goal line, and he is in for the touchdown. So it's a 32-18 lead at halftime for Centerville. And Austin had 4 touchdown passes at halftime. But Lincoln LeBrun says, we're not going to lose this game. 65 yards for a touchdown. They hang on at the end when Centerville fails on a 2-point conversion and throws a Hail Mary that's picked in the end zone. 46-44. The Cardinals win a wild one.
Don't sleep on the Tornadoes, though, if we get to the postseason.
They're good.
On the top-ranked Pirates of Avon, we're in Colome to face the Cowboys this afternoon. They did a lot of scoring, and it didn't really take them any plays. First play of the game, Avon's Isaiah Meyer gets the handoff, and he gone 49 yards. It's 8-0. Their 3rd play of the game, they go back to Mr. Meyer, and it's going to be the same result, just a different yardage, 34 yards. He kind of just strolls into the end zone. Meyer had 3 plays and 3 touchdowns. 4th play, someone different. Trenton Sukup in for the score from 49. And the defending state champs all over Colome. In this one, the final score 72-6. Let's take a look at more scores in 9B. There's your Avon score against Sully Buttes with a shutout. Dell Rapids St. Mary, that wild, great game. And the upset of the night, Loyola Frederick, 42-20 over Fulton.
Although they're undefeated as well. Loyola
they'll be in the
Frederick
rankings, I'm sure now.
Next up, highlights from Minnesota and Iowa, including a big game in Pipestone when we come back here on Football Friday. And welcome back for more highlights from Iowa and Minnesota. We start at Pipestone.
That's where the 3-0 Arrows hosted the 3-0 Cardinals of Redwood Valley. Pick things up in the first quarter. Arrows on a long drive. They strike fast and they strike true on the 2-yard line. Austin Mush with the quarterback keeper. He punches it in. 7-0 Pipestone. A little bit later on in the first, Arrows on the march again. It's Mush finding a wide open Nehemiah Ostermeyer. Love that name. Moving across the middle for a 13-yard touchdown. 14-0 home team. Then in the 3rd, Mush dropping back to pass, looking deep, right into the hands of Trevor Clark Chalsit for a 32-yard gain all the way down to the 4. Sets up Mush for another 1-yard touchdown. And it's all Pipestone in this one, 28-6. Final score. Let's take a look at some more scores from the state of Minnesota locally. Laverne with a shutout over Minnesota Valley Lutheran. Minneota with a shutout over Canby. Hills Beaver Creek, big over Heron Lake, Okabena Fulda. McRae over Lakeview by 3. Adrian Ellsworth, a bit of an odd score there, 13-11 over Murray County Central. Martin County West by 14 over RTR. Wyndham, high-scoring game over Tracy Milroy Ballon. Marshall with a shutout over Tri-City United. Worthington in a low-scoring game over New Ulm. Dawson Boyd with 61. And Mountain Lake Area defeats Red Rock Central.
To Iowa and a home game for Jay Roseboom's undefeated West Lyon Wildcats, who face Western Christian next week. They faced Unity Christian in the game last night, and look at that. That might be the play of the week. That was Brendan Van Wy with a one-handed pick, which led to Evan Hildring. He caps off the drive with a 4-yard touchdown, and the Wildcats are up early in this game. Unity Christian trying to get something going. Not going to happen. Another interception, but this time it's Carson Meyer, and guess what? He takes it to the end zone. That's a pick 6. He's pretty fired up about that, as well he should be. Later on 4th down and 3, the Wildcats pull out a fake punt. Jay, what are you doing? He doesn't usually do stuff like this. It's Carson Hogeveen, cuts it outside and gets the first down, and that leads to Bryson Childress, who sneaks it in from the 1-yard line. They were up 28-0 at halftime, and they just continued to add on to that. Their final was 49-0 as we look at some of the other scores in Iowa. Again, Central Lyon, George Little Rock, 56-6. MOC Floyd Valley wins. Spencer Boyden Hall, Rock Valley shut out by Algona and Western Christian. They play West Lyon next week, and we got some more scores for you. Spirit Lake, West Sioux, Hartley Melvin Sanborn beat Akron Westfield. Lamar's Galen wins by a point, and Sibley
Woodbury Central, by the way, was number 1 in that class too.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. All right, thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll be back next Friday for Football Friday.